day everyone! Ako po si Jerry De Los Santos, also known as Sam.
At ako naman po si Danica Domingo. Welcome back to another episode of our college podcast. Dito aming tinatalakay ang ilan sa mga importanteng issue patungkol sa governance at development. Amin ding napag-uusapan ng ilan sa mga teorya at resulta ng aming mga ginagawang research.
For the past few weeks, we have been conversing with the people who helped bring our college, the College of Public Affairs and Development, to where it is now, an institution with distinctive excellence in public affairs, governance, and development. CPAf is about to celebrate its silver anniversary. We are turning 25, which is a milestone for the college.
Yes, Ate Jerry, I agree. And it is just right for us to honor our past, where we came from and how we started, and celebrate our present for our future endeavors.
At ito ang Patok, Usapang Public Affairs at Development.
We are now on the final leg of our Patok CPAf Anniversary Series. And in line with celebrating our present, today we have invited the current Dean of CPAf.
That's right, Danica. Our current dean is not just a smart and dynamic leader. She is someone who really thinks about how to steer the college towards the future that we want to achieve since the beginning of CPAf. So today, let's welcome Dean Rowena Baconguis, who we fondly call Dean Weng.
Hello, Dean Weng. Magandang araw po.
Magandang umaga, Danica at Sam.
Hello po, ma'am. So, how is your experience so far, ma'am, being the dean of our college?
Gaya ng mga ibang dean na ngayon ay nagsiserve ay busy. Kaya marami tayong mga online na mga communications and therefore this takes up a lot of time for a lot of the deans.
Ayan. Since you already brought it up, ma'am, that you have been busy with all this online stuff, mga communications, and perhaps online meetings, tapos may mga face-to-face na din. Ma'am, when you became the dean, it was already COVID-19, no? It's during the COVID-19 pandemic. What were the pressing problems or needs when you started your deanship?
Alam mo, Sam, gaya na ng sabi mo, this was the time of the COVID, no? And certainly because of the COVID-19, there were a lot of challenges when it came to adjusting, particularly because we had to transfer from face-to-face to online activities. No? This would involve online communication, online signing of documents, online classes. And this, of course, was not easy for everyone. We had to learn a lot of tools very, very quickly, especially for the faculty members who shifted from face-to-face to online classes. Napakahirap nito. And it took a lot of time really to adjust to this kind of setup. No? So kung iisipin natin, ito din yung panahon na nagkaroon tayo ng lockdowns at saka work from home. So we were actually here, the administrative staff were mostly here, the deans and the directors were all reporting to office, except that there were very limited staff around, primarily because we had to schedule the coming in of people because we didn't want to contract COVID-19. But despite that, no, despite of all the things, all the precautions that we did, a lot of us more or less contracted COVID, no? Not just once, but several times. So, yun, mahirap yun eh. So, we had to deal with all of these scares. And then we also had to deal with the lockdown and the mental health issues associated with it. No? So, medyo mahirap yung mga panahon na yun. But despite that, hindi naman pwedeng huminto ang mundo. So I came in as OICD in November of 2020. And then, you know, for a fact that January is actually our anniversary celebration. No? And so we had to very, very quickly plan for 3 activities immediately. One was our anniversary celebration. And then secondly was the online recognition for our graduates for 2019 because we failed to do this in the past. And I just felt that we owe it to our students to really have a fitting recognition by the college. And then the next was the ICGD2. So immediately upon resuming the task of the responsibility of being an OIC dean, we had to address three major activities online at that, no? And considering that a number of people weren't reporting in the office, this was really a very big challenge. But you know, Sam and Danica, the way we handled all this and the fact that we were able to conduct these activities, no? So when we had our anniversary celebration, this was just not for one day. We had several seminars related to our anniversary, and the fact that we were able to do this in a very short time was for me an accomplishment in itself because we proved how resilient we were as a college.
Yes, ma'am. So your deanship actually started with two major events po. So we had the CPAf Anniversary and then the ICGD. The ICGD, which I actually consider as a milestone for our college. But when you started, ma'am, what were your general plans for CPAf? What changes would you want to see during your deanship?
Right. No, so where we were actually planning for these activities, there was also an ongoing search for the deanship, no? And I had to also think of whether I should actually participate in the search, no? So while we were planning for the major college events, I had to reflect on all of these things. And my analysis focused on three facts about CPAf. So the first is that number one, there are many young researchers. So a lot have retired, and currently our researchers are very young. So this is an opportunity for all of us. At the same time, there are many things that we have to address given the young profile. Secondly, we also have very young faculty members, and some of them just came back from their PhD and some are retiring in a number of years. In fact, during my term, several would be retiring, and some have retired. There have been talks about former deans to review the structure of the college, starting with Dean Virginia Cardenas, who created committees during her term to actually have an external review and have a review for our one college, one faculty structure. Moreover, I was inspired by the successes we had with our major events, despite the uncertainty of times. And I thought that this would be a very good way to think about how I would like to see the college in the next 3 years. And thus, my presentation actually centered on the word purpose, no? Because for me, it's very important to see how we can move forward. And I think, just like I said during the search, that the deanship is actually an intellectual task. And we really have to think about how to move forward, primarily because when we think of the new normal, we are looking at the fact that we would be encountering disruptive events not just once, but rather this would be what will happen to us on a daily basis, on a monthly or on a yearly basis, that we would be encountering disruptive events every now and then, and we have to prepare for it. And for me, the best way to prepare for it really is to prepare each one of us for this task. And thus, I was thinking that really purpose would be a good fit for all of us. And what is purpose? No? So I think I have shared this before, but just to make it short, purpose stands for passion. Number 2 is university partnership. Number 3 is robust systems. Number 4 is promoting innovations. Number 5, organizational competence. Number 6 is service. And number 7 is excellence. So that's basically what purpose is all about. And central to all this really is coming up with a shared vision. Primarily because I believe that for us to move forward, we should really believe in the vision together as a team, right?
Yes.
So this vision should be our identity and should be the core of what we do, such that if we create this vision together, there's a higher percentage that we will be committed to this, no? But the thing is, for us to be committed to this, we should develop competencies. No? So this is something that we should all share. So as I reflect on the new normal, which represents disruptive change, I came to the conclusion that the only way for us to not only survive, but to move forward and really excel on what we do is to develop collective leadership. Now, what do we mean by collective leadership? Now, remember that in the past, when we talk of leadership, it's normally about transformational leadership, where the leader is actually able to move things forward by encouraging all others that this is the way, no, to go. But with disruptive events, I just feel that using these old models would not be enough for us to move forward. And I believe that to do so, everybody should be prepared and everybody should be able to take on the challenge and actually perform as a leader. No? So which is why one of the things that I believe that I would like to see in my term is to develop the leadership in all of us. And the only way to do that is really to be inclusive and participatory, because otherwise, how would we go forward if only the leaders, no, the directors, the dean, would be telling everyone that this is the way to move forward? So for me, the best way to move forward is to ensure that everybody participates actively in major decisions that we have to do. And so these are the things that I would like to see in my term.
Wow. Ma'am, with regards dun sa mga nabanggit mo at nasabi mo, I just came to understand how in-depth you are when it comes to extension, education, and community development. It just goes to show na you're not just thinking about you and the college. You're thinking about the people and the whole college, and not just about you as a dean. And it's really good to hear about that, ma'am. But ma'am, given dun sa mga nabanggit mo na plans and all the desires that you have for the college, so far, what do you think are the college accomplishments in terms of instruction, research, or public service since you started your term?
Yeah, thank you, Sam, no? Yung kasi common kasi when you start as a dean, you think of what legacy will you leave, no? But for me, the best legacy is really developing our competencies as a group, no? So para sa akin, yung shared vision is very important, plus yung 3 C's na sinabi ko na. Commitment, competencies, and collective leadership. Now, I would like to state that the organizational review, which is the crafting of our vision, mission, and our R&E framework in a very participative manner is an accomplishment in itself. Alam mo, Sam, siguro you've been doing participatory research, you've been doing extension, and you know for a fact that we really engage people, no? There are many pathways. You probably start with a pathway that you believe is the most important, but when you work together, when ideas come together, the resulting outcome is not necessarily the one that you thought best, no? Because here we have ideas coming out, and sana lang yung mga ideas na lumalabas nga ay hindi out of fear, but rather of commitment to a common vision. So yun yung parati nating pinagdarasal. And for me, when we had our vision, when we had our strategic planning, we were able to actually come up with our vision, mission, and we are now moving towards creating actually our purposes, objective, and action plans. No? And I believe that we work hard together for all of this, and this is going to guide us. So in terms of outcome, it is actually the affirmation of our current structure and the reformulation of our vision and mission, which for me are important accomplishment in themselves, no? But as you've said, ano ba yung mga nagawa natin in terms of the three things, which is research, instruction, and extension, no? So para sa akin, simulan natin sa instruction, no? So sabi ko kanina, yung mga faculty natin nahirapan lahat yan, no? Pag-shift from face-to-face to online instruction. Hindi naman madali yung paggawa ng mga course packs. Hindi rin madali yung pag-aaral ng Canvas, pag-aaral ng ating, ano ba yun, Google Classroom.
Google Classroom, yes.
Oo, di ba? Hindi ako techie pero I had no choice because if I really wanted to ensure learning of the students, I would have to do that myself. And I believe this is true for all our faculty members. At hindi lang naman yun yung pinag-aralan namin, Sam. We also had to learn a lot of collaborative tools like Mentimeter, and then that moved on to Slido. We
Yes.
also had to learn, many things. Like I had to learn Perusal, for example, to make sure that, my students collaboratively work together. So marami kaming inaral, and for me, this is a major accomplishment for all of us. It's not unique to CPAf, but I would like to say that this is a major accomplishment of our faculty members in terms of instruction. So we also had, for example, we launched Let's Talk, which discussed new ways of moving forward insofar as using online platforms. We also had mental health seminars for our faculty members. We also had brown bag sessions for our faculty members. So I think these are important accomplishments in themselves. As for our extension, medyo siguro kumonti yung ating extension, and these were mostly limited to online platforms, no? Pero doon, marami din naman tayong mga webinars na ginawa along that line. So we also launched Patok, no? So for me, these are small initiatives in a way that hindi tayo nakalabas. Pero para sa akin, napaka-importante nung Patok because this is actually a collaboration between researchers and faculty members. So nung una, medyo mahirap yatang ipaintindi ano yung Patok, no? Paulit-ulit kong sinasabi na hindi siya something na to popularize our research only. This actually has several objectives. One is to make sure that there is a seamless relationship between the researcher and the faculty member. No? So sabi ko, dapat talaga partnership siya ng researcher and faculty members. Medyo nahihirapan yatang i-conceptualize along that line. Kasi bakit ba ganon? Pangalawa kasi, we want to make sure that there is a seamless relationship between the theories and research. Kasi bakit ba tayo gumagawa ng research? So once again, kaya tayo gumagawa ng research is first and foremost to make sure that we contribute to the body of knowledge. At sino ba ang gagamit ng body of knowledge na ito? So unang-una, yung community natin. Pangalawa, mas mapapalago pa yung ating research. Pero pangatlo, dahil tayo ay nasa academe, ang gagamit ng research na ito ay yung mga classes natin. And so far, doon tayo medyo nagkakaroon ng gap, no? And I wanted Patok to start the venue where we make sure and we show that there is actually a seamless relationship between research and our instruction. So along this line, I think we're still trying to refine our patok, and hopefully magawa natin yun, no, na hindi lang research yung ating researcher yung ating pinipicture, o hindi lang faculty member yung ating pinipicture, pero ma-feature natin kung paano ba nagkakaroon ng relationship between our research and our extension, and ultimately ma-relate natin ito sa ating extension. So we hope that the patok will really be a very good venue for us to tie this up all together. And syempre yung last, which I think was the understanding of a lot of people, was to popularize what we do. Para sa akin, isa yon, no? But it's not the most important thing. Para sa akin, yung first two ang pinaka-importante, and yung last, of course, is to popularize what we do and who we are. Kasi syempre, dito magagamit yung recording natin ng mga hindi lang sa ating klase, kung hindi sa klase, ng iba pang mga faculty members, no, who are our partners. So for me, patok is very important, no? And along that line, nagkaroon tayo ng internal assessment ng ating mga programa, no? What I mean is our instruction programs, no? So we did this, and we were actually successful in so far as ensuring the quality assurance review, QA, no? Review of two of our programs, and that is the Master in Public Affairs and also the Master of Science in Extension Education. So na-forward natin ito sa ating QA team sa university, and this was reviewed. Binalik na sa atin ito. And we're supposed to address the concerns of the review of our QA team. So ginagawa yan ng MPAF, pinauna natin yung MPAF at susunod na yung extension, at yung iba pa nating mga programa ay susunod na rin. So in terms of accomplishment, we also had a number of scientists and a lot of 1 UP awardees, and I think this is very important that we actually maintain the leadership along this line, no? Maliit man tayo na college, pero karamihan sa atin ay mga awardees, Sam. So ito ay isa nating maipagmamalaki, no? Ngayon sa research naman, no, I would credit, of course, the leadership of our director, si Director Eileen Lapitan at saka si Director Blan. When we started, patapos na, no? Alam ito ni Danica, patapos na yung mga research natin. And we really had to propose para magkaroon tayo ng mga bago na research. And hindi naman tayo nabigo along that line. Ang dami natin mga bagong research, hindi ba, Danica, no? Marami tayong bagong approved and funded.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with that. Our research centers are actually thriving right now.
Noon, malaki yung takot na pag-retire ng mga dati nating leaders sa research, na babagsak ang ating research. Pero hindi yan nangyari. In fact, mas marami tayong funded research ngayon, in the sense na these are very diverse, no? So hindi lang iisang klaseng programa, hindi lang isang malaking programa, pero diverse at involved lahat ang mga researchers natin, no? So para sa akin, napakalaki uling achievement ito, dahil hindi lang natin napatunayan na kaya natin, kung hindi kaya natin together, at hindi lang isang tao yung nag-move, kundi lahat tayo were actually working together, no? So marami na tayong mga study leaders and project leaders na mga bata, no? In fact, si Sam also proposed a very big project na hopefully mapondohan naman, Sam, no? Oo, no? So, and of course, wag natin kalilimutan yung ating ICGB2. Napaka-exciting time na ginawa natin itong ICGB2. At kung alam nyo lang kung paano kami nagpapanik that time, no? Siguro, you were also involved no, Danica, we had just effectively 2 months to
Yes, ma'am. I
prepare.
experienced po the panic during the last
Right.
ICGD.
Lahat tayo, no?
Nakakapanic talaga kasi first time natin siyang gawing online. And then, alam mo yon, 2 months na lang, ganito pa lang kadami or kakonti. Yung ating mga presenters, and we had to work doubly hard and we had to innovate. This was the first time that we have panel presentations because nagkaroon na ng quota eh. Like I had I should have 10 presenters. I should have 10. 2 panels rather. So ganun na yung mga usapan para lang magkaroon tayo ng magandang presentations. And take note, we had 300 paper presenters, no? 300 participants rather.
Participants, yes.
And,
And 100, I think 115 yata, ma'am, or basta mga 100 yung paper presenters.
Yes, 100, more than 100 paper presenters. And I think we were able to organize an international advisory committee. And everybody, these people willingly contributed their time. And they serve as actually panel chairs as well. No? So we were able to mobilize these international partners very, very quickly, and they were very supportive of us. So for me, these are really, very important accomplishments in themselves because we work together as a team. Of course, the outcome is very important, but the process that we had to undergo, they were not ideal, certainly. Not ideal in the sense that we panicked and we worked in a very short time, but we were able to work together and achieve all these things. So yeah, I think these are important accomplishments in themselves because they actually contribute to what I have set forth from the very beginning, which is to develop our collective leadership.
That's good, ma'am. And so far, no, ma'am, nakita po natin na ang dami na pong accomplishments under your leadership. For instruction, we were able to adapt to the change that COVID brought upon us. And for extension, dumami po yung platforms, including Patok, and you have put such pressure on us to be better. And for research po, our research centers are continuously thriving, and we have a lot of resources coming in because of research proposals. And we have been talking with a lot of people, and most importantly, ma'am, we were able to pull off an international conference in such a short time, the ICGD2. But I know, ma'am, that we have a lot more activities in the pipeline. So what more would you like to do for our college po?
Salamat, Danica. Of course, hindi natin magagawa itong mga ito kung hindi naman committed yung mga kasamahan natin na katulad ninyo. Ano? And for that, patuloy natin na pagtitibayin ang ating commitment. And for me, the most important thing really is to develop our competencies. No? Napakahirap kasing maging committed kung kulang yung ating kaalaman. At para sa akin, marami tayong mga talent, marami tayong mga competencies. But for me, everyone should have these competencies. No? Hindi lang isa, hindi lang dalawa, kundi lahat tayo. Kaya ang next na talagang gusto kong tutukan ay yung mga training programs na dapat lahat tayo magkaroon. Ano? So again, this is in line with my desire to really develop collective leadership. And this can only happen if we are able to develop the right competencies together. So we're creating a committee. Iniisip pa namin kung sino ang ating ilalagay na chair dito at saka sino-sino ang members. But so far, what I envision is for us to have common training for specific competencies. Number one, governance and development. Because this is this is part of our vision, no? To be a leader in public affairs, governance, and development. So when somebody asks us, what is public affairs, governance, and development, as well as transdisciplinary research? Dapat pare-pareho tayo ng sagot. Dapat alam natin kung ano yung sasabihin natin. Pag nagkaroon tayo ng proposal, research proposal, dapat sentro doon yung tatlo, no? Public affairs, na kaakibat nun, transdisciplinary research, governance, and development. So this is one area that I would like all of us to have a training program. Number 3, policy analysis. Again, we're launching BPLAB, no? So para sa akin pala, no, this is also a very important accomplishment in itself kasi this will put us in the map on policy analysis. Right now, merong survey kasi, no, sino ang nangunguna sa Philippines when we talk about development policy analysis. At para sa akin, to have a deep lab, no, is very important because this will put us in the map when it comes to policy analysis. And once again, lahat tayo dapat may training on policy analysis. And number 4, mixed method research. Saan ba tayo lalaban? If we want to make sure that the College of Public Affairs and Development is in the map of those who are number 1, for example, saan tayo lalaban? So I was thinking that lalaban tayo sa mixed methods, no? Now, hindi madali yon kasi when we say mixed method, dapat magaling tayo sa quanti and sa quali, no? So again, nakikita ko na series of trainings ang gagawin natin for quanti and quali and how ultimately we can combine this such that the things that we do is characterized by mixed methods. So, hindi lang quanti, hindi lang quali, kundi yung dalawang yon, no? So, again, competency building sa mixed method research. And then when it comes to institution building, so remember yung ating research, no, yung Gora Bells natin, no? For me, that is a very important accomplishment. I have been sharing our research and extension agenda, yung tinatawag nating Gora Bells. At every time I share, I get a lot of positive vibes, a lot of positive energy. So I think yung ating committee on this, headed by Blan and Haji, I would like to congratulate them, no, and of course the rest of the team for coming up with a very with a very important acronym for what we do, the Gora Bells. So, para sa akin, I think yung research proposal making is again another important competency that we have to master. And dahil nga doon sa ating tinitingnan, no, ano ba yung magiging output ng ating research and extension? At maalala nyo, nakalagay doon ay strengthened institutions at yung isa ay about transformed communities. So, paano ba natin yun paano ba tayo makaka-contribute doon? So once again, I think around institution building, dapat pare-pareho tayong magagaling sa strategic planning, no? Strategic planning, monitoring, and evaluation. At yung tinatawag nating results-based monitoring and evaluation. So, napakarami no? Napakaraming competencies na dapat nating ma-master. And siguro hindi matatapos lahat yung capacity building sa panahon ko dahil I already have 1 year and 8 months. So that would mean I would be staying for 1 year and 2 months. So kung ano man yung ating magagawa, no, for the remaining 1 year and 2 months, I hope na mapapakontinue pa rin siya nung magiging next dean natin. So, medyo malaki yung ating bubunuin sa competency building. The other is coming up with the modules for all of this. So, maganda sana na magkaroon tayo ng module na para ma-review natin at any point in time. At kung meron mang hihingi kasi na training program sa atin ay ready tayo to respond. Alam mo, there are many calls and there are many requests for us to serve as a resource person. And that's a good thing actually because we are being noticed, and which is why coming up with modules along this line for me is very important. Now, that's one in terms of competency building. The other is our 25th anniversary. Napaka-importanteng milestone ito, no? And for me, we should drum beat this up such that we share to all others, no? Na we are already 25 years old. We have accomplished so much, and we will still accomplish a lot more in terms of contributing to public affairs, governance, and development. So meron tayong mga naka-line up na activities along that line. We're partnering with our alumni along that line. Napaka-importanting partners yung ating mga alumni. And we look forward to having an active alumni for the rest of my term. No? So as we have a new set of officers. The next really is the ICGB3. No? So tapos na natin yung ICGB2 at aabutan ko pa pala yung ICGB3 in my term. And we're hoping na this time hindi na lang siya online, kundi hybrid siya. And we're hoping to bring in more partners as well as see our previous partners active in this again. No? So that's the things that I think are lined up for the next 1 year and 2 months remaining for my term.
Ma'am, ang dami niyo pong nabanggit about dun sa mga current na mga tingin ko mga part pa rin siya ng mga plans niyo for CPAf and all of the stuff that we feel like we have achieved, but then there are still some parts of us that we still need to do to improve further. Ma'am, madami ka na nabanggit, but do you think there are still challenges within our college that we are facing currently?
Yes, Sam, no? I celebrated my 20th anniversary.
Yes, year, no? Or last year?
Oo, 20 years na ako sa CPAf, ano? So medyo matagal-tagal na rin ako sa CPAf at marami na rin akong nakita na pagbabago, marami na rin tayong mga accomplishments. And you are right na napakarami pa rin challenges, no? Para sa akin, ang major challenge really is for everyone to be able to commit to our vision and mission. When I say to be able to commit, isa yung direksyon na pinupuntahan natin. We think of the college because our identity as a unit, no? It's actually tied up to the college. Pwedeng napakagaling ng isang unit at naiiwanan yung iba, hindi pa rin magaling sa totality, no? There is what we call synergy. And we can only achieve this if we commit to our organizational goals. Now, we committed to our current structure, which is the one college, one faculty structure with 2 research centers. Now, as I've said during our strategic planning, this is actually a unique setup for any college. No? If you look at the different colleges, hindi ganito ang kanilang setup. And this is a unique setup for us. And since we committed to this, we should level up what we do. Now, what do I mean by that? No? Take note that we are the only college that have 2, not 1, but 2 research centers. Now, if we look at the other colleges that have research centers, we have the College of Agriculture, right? Meron silang mga independent research centers. Yung iba, wala. So ano ba yung mga independent research centers nila? They, for example, have biotech or the Institute of Plant Breeding. What is unique about these research centers? Number one, they are known nationwide and probably they would say worldwide. Right? Ibig sabihin, they have leadership. Pag may problema, sila ang tinatawagan. Meron din silang malalaking project related to biotech or ITB. So what is the implication of committing to our structure? Unang-una, we are committing that our research centers will level up and be a leader nationwide, if not Asia-wide. No? So this is the implication when I say we commit to our organizational structure, we commit to our vision. It means leveling up what we do. Kaya nga, for me, napaka-importante ng competency building. Kasi, ano ba ang hihingin sa atin ng university, for example? O meron kayong dalawang research center, anong ginagawa nyo? Same lang doon sa ginagawa ng ibang research centers. So, ito din yung challenge sa ating mga faculty members na pumasa lahat yung ating mga programa sa quality assurance. So, ano bang, what does that mean? No? So, for example, when people search for institutional leaders in policy making, dapat lalabas ang CSPPS. CSPPS yung unang pupuntahan. Pag merong mga legislations and they need help, sa CSPPS sila pupunta. So, pag sinabi naman community development, community innovations, pangalan ng CISC ang lalabas. Yun yung challenge natin eh. How do we commit to make sure that we level up everything that we do? Napakarami nating mga bata ngayon and napakaraming opportunities for us to grow. For me, this demands working doubly hard. No? So when people search for governance and development, CPAf ang lalabas, the College of Public Affairs and Development. We should be the preferred institution when it comes to governance, rural development, public affairs. For me, it's really ensuring that we strengthen ourselves, we strengthen our organization. We strengthen first internally para kaya nating makipagbakbakan when we go out. We have to be proud about our college. When we have limitations, we try harder to make up for it and we help one another achieve these things. Because after all, we want to say that this is who we are. We are committed to honor and excellence, and this is where we belong, the College of Public Affairs and Development. So, Sam and Danica, ito yung nakikita ko, no? I see CPAf 10 years from now as a group of professionals supporting each other and working together, a leader in public affairs, governance, and rural development in the field of instruction, research, and extension.
Wow, ang dami na nabanggit niya no, ni Ma'am Weng doon, Danix, no? Parang, naramdaman mo ba?
Hindi ko na po natanong.
As a young staff at CPAf, naramdaman mo ba lahat ng nasa puso ni Ma'am Weng as a Dean
Yes.
of CPAf?
Of course, and I would like to say, ma'am, as part of CPAf under the Center for Strategic Planning and Policy Studies, we're actually working together to cement the name of our college and the name of our center out there.
We're working towards that, Ma'am Weng, and
Yes,
we
ma'am.
assure
And
you that
CISC po, I think every one of us is already working po to
Yes.
cement the name of CPAf.
Napakaganda, Danica, no, yung nakikita ko ngayon na mas marami ng nag-work across, no? So for example, yung faculty members, kasama nyo sa inyong mga research, nagre-reach out kayo sa mga faculty members dahil para sa akin, ito lang yung paraan na we can elevate and actually level up what we do. At natutuwa nga ako dahil nakikita ko na meron ng ganong move. No? In fact, I have a new project right now with the CSPPS. Ito yung tinatawag nating DSS or Decision Support System for Lakes. At ang lumapit sa akin doon was from CSPPS, sila Nico. And yung project na ito, may kasamang faculty members, may kasamang taga-CSPPS, at may kasamang taga-CISC. At hindi lang yan, Danica, may kasama pa tayong taga-math department, no?
Yes
yung
po, ma'am.
grammar natin. So para sa akin, actually marami akong natututunan dahil doon, nagsimula kami na governance na yung tinitingnan namin. Pero we realized that if you want to improve governance, marami pang makakatulong at maraming disciplines na makakatulong doon. And I think this is the way forward, that we really have to work with others.
Yes, ma'am. And for me, CPAf actually was my first job. From after I graduated, and from an RA to where am I now as a university researcher po, I have seen the little changes that happen po in the college. It's not, and number one is po the collaboration and the synergy between researchers and the faculty, and of course po other staff din po from outside CPAf.
Right.
So ayun po.
At kayo ang future natin na Danica and Sam. Because I'm looking at the age ng ating mga staff. Mga bata kayo yon. Kayo ang ating future leaders ng College of Public Affairs and Development.
Wow. And I think, ma'am, it's really good that at this stage you're already mentioning it to us. Although I feel like it's a little bit uncomfortable to be called into this kind of job na kayo na yung susunod na leaders, you have to be this and that. But who else would tell us, the young ones, who else would tell us that truth that we have to hear if hindi po kayo? And I think it's a good avenue then, Danica, that we got this recorded so that sometime later, if we want to get back to who CPAf is in 2022, and after 5 or 10 years, we're going to review this. We will hear once again kung ano yung mga sinabi ni Ma'am Weng, and we'll be able to verify how we really listened to our seniors at the time that we're doing the season, di ba? All right,
Yes
Ma'am.
po, that's right.
I think we were able to cover a lot during this time that we have interviewed you. But since this is a silver anniversary celebration of CPAf for the anniversary celebration rather, what last question na po, what would be your message for our college?
Happy 25th anniversary, CPAf. Congratulations for all the accomplishments and more success.
Well said, Ma'am Weng, and thank you very much for your time this morning, that you shared a lot about your deanship, your experience, the plans that you have, and of course, the future that you want to see for the college. Danica?
Yes. And thank you very much, Ma'am Weng, for that very fitting message for everyone po. And thank you very much for gracing the last period of the Patok CPAf Anniversary Series. And for our parting words for us and for our beloved college, happy 25th anniversary.
Yes, happy 25th anniversary.
Anniversary to everyone.
Yes po. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you also. Bye.
We are inviting everyone to join us in celebrating our 25th anniversary on January 31, 2022 at 9 o'clock in the morning.
We will also be having an alumni forum at 2 o'clock p.m. and it would be a great pleasure for us to see everyone there.
And if you cannot join us personally, we will also be live streaming this event on the official CPAf Facebook page. Kita-kits po tayong lahat!